Halloween to all of you. I happened to get to the stores a little late this year and I love pumpkin carving. So I didn't end up getting a large pumpkin, but one of these tiny little guys, which I'm going to be carving today in a pumpkin carving tutorial. Joining me today is my friend Spidey, as you can see to my left. He's going to be hanging out with us and keeping us company. But let's get right to pumpkin carving. There are a few tools that you're going to need in order to carve a pumpkin, and they're as follows. A paring knife, a serrated knife, a couple of spoons, a pen, and a thumbtack. So let's go. The first step in carving a pumpkin is to scoop out the guts. And there are many ways that you can do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So I first like to take my pen and mark where I'm going to cut the top of my pumpkin so that I can look into the interior. So we're going with a bit of a hexagon today. And then it's as easy as taking my paring knife and just cutting through. Now those lines are just guides. You won't be able to see them in the dark, so don't worry about them being perfect. We're just going to cut through. Now that we've carved the top of the pumpkin, it's time to scoop the guts out. But before that, I have a bit of a tip. Take a pen and mark just between where you've cut and where you haven't cut. And that way you know how the top of the pumpkin will fit once we're done. So we're going to scoop it out. Lots of guts, and this is going to be fun. This is where your serrated knife comes in. We're just going to cut that off. And now I'm going to use my handy dandy spoon to scoop out the guts. Now this is a really interesting process. You can get dirty, get your hands in there. And it's important to get all the seeds out and a lot of the flesh out, because the thinner the skin of the pumpkin is, or the thinner the interior is, the easier it'll be to carve later. So let's see how much we got out in one go. Now, I'm not the best artist on the face of this planet, so I did a bit of a Google search to find a design that I really wanted for my pumpkin. It's nice and simple, but if you're not comfortable drawing, then it's really easy to go online and find a template and then just put it against the pumpkin and then do this next step, which is take a thumbtack and go around and pierce around your design. Every 1/8 of an inch, so you can see me doing that right now. And what this does is that it makes the skin of the pumpkin weak, so that when you go in with a knife, it's easier to carve out and it just pops out really easily. Alright, so that does it. I've just finished puncturing my design into the pumpkin. You can see the tiny little holes. And now it's time to take my paring knife and go out and cut the pumpkin out, cut the design out. So here goes. Let's see if those holes made it any easier for me. It's still kind of tough. But again, tiny little cuts are a lot easier to do. And don't worry if it strays off the path a little bit. I mean, these aren't the pumpkin carving awards by any means. And you can always go in with a knife or something a little smaller, just for the fine details. Not bad, right? I do find that these little holes do help. This is the first year that I've done that. I was actually just reading up on pumpkin carving online, and that seemed to be the major tip. And let's see. Yeah, come on. Oh, someone's at the door. Little kitties. And 1 second. Wait, kitties, wait. There goes the eye. Perfect. So I'm just putting the final touches on my carving. Here he is, Mr. Jack-o'-lantern. He has a bit of a funky smile, but that's because he has personality. And there are kids at the door. So I'm going to check in on them, and then we're going to get a light in here, and this boy is going outside. All right, tea light is lit. It's going inside. Be careful with your fingers because it's a tiny pumpkin. And again, here's my tip. We see the little bit of the line here, so we know that it's going to line up with this line. And of course, it fits perfectly. And now, we're going to go outside. Come with me. All right, here's our jack-o'-lantern. Now all the little kitties will know that they can come to our house to trick or treat. Isn't he